Hello, I'm Richard Richards, middle name Richard. This is Board Deck and Dice, and today we're doing a review for Crossing. Crossing is a little game of bluffing and pointing and stealing. Let's take a look at how it works. Crossing can play up to 6 players and has a minimum of 3, although as usual with these games you should probably add 1 to that. So I've set up a 4-player game here. Each player has their own player mat, and on the back it has a different method of travelling, which is important later in the game. For the first round, you set up, for a setup you put out 1 mushroom card less than there are players, and you pull from the bag 2 gems for each mat. So I need another 3 here. Gems come in 4 different colours. Red, blue and yellow, and for every set of red, blue and yellow you will get 5 points. For every red, blue or yellow left over from a set, you will get 1 point. For every clear crystal you will get 2 points. And the way the game works is very simple. A player will count to 3 and everyone will point at a pile of gems. At the minute the only gems are in the mushrooms, so we must point to one of those. If you are the only player to point to a pile of gems, you get to keep it. So let's say this dwarf has pointed here, he gets to keep these 2 and he moves them onto his tile. Let's say the goblin has pointed to this one, and he gets to keep them and move them onto his pile. But let's say these 2 players have both pointed at this one. They do not get any gems. To set up for the next round, you add 2 gems to every mushroom that is empty and 1 to every mushroom that already has gems on it, making it a much more attractive proposition. Now things get interesting, because now you don't just have to point at the mushrooms, you can point to anywhere there is gems. So if you fancy stealing these blue gems from this player, you can point at them. However, the same rules apply. If 2 people point at the same mat, then no one gets the gems. Also, the player whose mat it is can decide to forgo pointing and instead cover their mat with their hand. If they do that, no one may steal the gems. They move all their gems to the side. These are banked and safe for the rest of the game, and they flip their tile to show that they are travelling to bank their gems, and they miss the next go. You play like that until all the gems have been emptied from the bag, and then you count up your gems, whether they're on your mat or in your bank, and you declare a winner from the points earned. That is Crossing. Crossing is a lovely little, quick, easy to explain game that promotes laughter, friendly competition and anger. The simple rules of pointing and then being the only person to point to a pile create really interesting questions. You look and you might see that one pile has a red, a blue and a yellow, and you think, that's worth 5 points. If I could get that would really help me. But there's at least 2, or should be at least 3 other players thinking the same thing. So do you go safe and go for the pile that has slightly less points on, but you think no one else will point to it? Or do you think that that might be a double bluff and everyone else will do the same thing? Then when there are piles of gems on people's mats, you have to ask yourself, is this person a chancer? Are they going to try and get a really big pile? Because to bank your gems, you have to essentially miss a go, which is a really big thing, because you only get about 6 rounds, maybe more, depending how many players, but you don't get very many rounds before the gem bag is empty. So to miss a go, or to miss 2 goes, or to miss 3 goes, it's like a pit stop in an F1 race. When is the best time to do it? You're going to have to do it, because if that pile gets too big and attractive, someone is going to snap it. But if everyone's ignoring you because they think you're going to bank every time, do you fake them out once more, or do you instead cover up and bank safely? It's very interesting, especially when you get to the last 2 rounds, because then the question of banking becomes very interesting. Do you bank on the penultimate round knowing that you will miss out on some potentially big hauls in the last round, or do you bank in the last round knowing that everything you've worked for could be stolen from you? For such a simple game, this is a real hit for my family and for the groups that I've played it in. There are choices there. You are reading other people and you are doing so very, very quickly. There is the old temptation of greed. Do you settle for what you've got, or do you go for more, or do you deliberately try and trip up that person knowing that it will probably come back at you and you'll have to bank fairly soon in the future? If you cannot tell from the way I'm talking, I love this game. The intimidation factor is low. The rules are super clear and probably a bit longer than they need to be, and the game is fun. A lot of fun. It can come out in between games, it can come out at the start, at the end. This will literally take 10 minutes to play, even with 6 players. There's no time for analysis paralysis because you'll have your gems stolen. This is a real winner, and if I had Board Deck and the Dice Awards, which I'm working on, I would definitely give this one an award for being a great game. Thanks very much for watching Board Deck and Dice. We'll see you again next time.